Everyone, can you please stand? Welcome to the special magistrate hearing for April 14, 2026. If you wish to speak, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you all swear to speak the truth at today's hearing? Yes. Thank you very much. Silence all devices. You may have a seat.
Good morning, everyone. Our first case, page 20, Inspector Gail Williams, case number CE 25100892, case address 1345 Northeast 5th Terrace, owner Karush Jaggi, posted at property 4126, posted at 1 East Broward 33126. Where you going?
It's right there.
Sorry, it's not my address.
What's your address?
Was my name called?
Yeah, your address is 1345 Northeast 5
Yeah.
Terrace?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I heard totally differently.
That's okay.
Good morning. Good morning, Special Magistrate. Senior Officer Gail Williams for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 25100892, address 1345 Northeast 5 Terrace. This case was first cited on October 28, 2025 for the following violations. As of March 16, 2026, all violations have complied. However, for violation 18-12 parentheses A, there is overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and/or is swell. There is a reoccurring violation per case CE 24060070. This case will be brought before a special magistrate as a finding of fact whether compliance is met or not. It was a finding of fact for violation 18-12A.
Okay, I'm just trying to see the pictures, they're not moving. Okay, good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Karush Jaggi.
Okay, welcome. It appears that you've complied everything, which is great. The only thing the city is asking me for is a finding of fact, which means I won't fine you today, but if it happens again, you could be fined.
Oh, fined, like,
Yeah, you would have a monetary money penalty
Okay.
if it happens again. I'm not going to fine you today.
okay. Just to, does it matter that who did it earlier was under eviction proceedings? That doesn't matter, right?
You mean someone else put the trash there?
Yeah, the dates of these things, I looked at it.
Yeah.
I didn't have possession of the property. It was being mishandled. And as soon as we got possession, we cleared everything.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but under our code, the owner is always responsible, even if the tenant's at fault or a neighbor's at fault or something like that.
So how do we address this? Let's say if the eviction proceedings went into this year and I didn't have any way to handle it, will the city still hold me financially liable?
What I would suggest is that you just pay careful attention to it, you know.
Well, we didn't have access to the property. We knew it was happening.
Right.
We couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So typically, if there are tenants in place and the owner doesn't have access to the property, you can come in and request more time and update the magistrate on eviction proceedings, and then we work with the property owner like that.
Yeah, under those circumstances, we usually will work with you and give you the time you need to evict the tenant. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 51, Inspector Shaquan Kendrick, case number CE 24090067, case address 6916 Northwest 29th Avenue, owner John W. Garces. This case was first heard 2/11/25 to comply by 2/21/25, 3/11/25, and 4/8/25. There are 3 suspensions noted on the agenda. 2 sections complied at $50 per day, $5,800 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
Inspector Kendrick with the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. This case was last heard at Special Magistrate on 9/9/2025. This case now has complied. The city is requesting the full amount to be imposed.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
John Garces.
Okay, can you explain to me why it took so long to bring the property into compliance?
Literally, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Last year, I lost my job in August. I had no financial means till December. I came before the magistrate every time I was asked to, and I did the best I could financially at that point. I literally have not caught up on all my bills yet. I still have credit card debt from that part. So to have $5,000 come up on top of me right now, I can't do that.
Cost is $1,105.
I would be inclined to give you city costs. Is that doable?
That's doable.
Okay, all right, city costs.
How much time do I have to pay because my next paycheck is until next week?
Okay, yeah, you'll get a letter in the mail. It'll give you all sorts of instructions, and you'll have a little bit of time there.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. What was it, 1,000? 1,105. Okay, thanks.
Our next case, page 52, Inspector Shaquan Kendrick, case number CE 24080472, case address 933 Northwest 50th Street, owner BIC Corp. This case was first heard 7/8/25 to comply by 7/18/25 and 8/12/25. There are 2 suspensions noted on the agenda. 1 section not complied at $100 per day, $14,500 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Good morning, Inspector Kendrick with the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting the case and address as read. This property was last heard at Special Magistrate January 29, 2026. This case has now complied. The city is requesting the full amount to be imposed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Benjamin Sunshine from Brinkley Morgan on behalf of the owner, BIC Corp. Also with me is our property manager, William Fairman.
Okay. Why is this taking so long?
So thankfully, we're now in compliance. Mr. Kendrick went to the property yesterday, and he confirmed that we are now in compliance.
With all of the different businesses?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We are now in compliance. The real problem we were having is specifically with 2 tenants, the Flavors Restaurant and the massage parlor. For instance, and Mr. Kendrick can attest to this, we would take the signs down, hoping that, by the time we have the inspection, the signs would be gone, but the tenants would put their signs back up for the time of the inspection. So, despite, Mr. Fairman telling the tenants you can't do that, they kept doing it. But like I said, it's only 2 of the tenants that were having problems, not all 6 of them. A lot of the tenants have been in compliance. One in particular, the pawn shop, has been in compliance since November. So it's really just 2 tenants that we were having issues with, but now we are in compliance. So,
are they in compliance?
Yes.
Because I saw it still on my agenda as not complied.
Yes, so we did a pre-hearing inspection on the 8th, and they were in compliance.
Okay, and what are city costs?
The city cost is $1,344.
All right, I'll reduce the fine to $2,500, including city costs.
perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Our next case, page 47, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 25080348, case address 2216 Southwest 33rd Way, owner Daniel and Lucy Cimentilli. This case was first heard 11/6/25 to comply by 12/11/25. Two sections not complied at $50 per day, $12,400 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Good morning. This is Matthew Flesher with the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 250800348 for the property located at 2216 Southwest 33rd Way. At the hearing on September 6, Special Magistrate Duty ordered a compliance deadline of 35 days or a fine of $50 per day per violation to run. 9304B is complied. 9305B is not complied. 9-306 is not complied. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on 3/25/26. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 10, 2026, and the violations 9-305B and 9-306 remain. The city is requesting full imposition of the fines and for the fines to continue to accrue.
Please state your
Hi,
name
good
for the
morning.
record. Good morning.
Daniel Cementilli.
Okay. Why is this taking so long?
There are circumstances, they're not excuses. Prior to receiving these violations, we just did roof repairs there. This house has been in our family for over 40 years. My mother-in-law lived there, and when she passed, it created a feud with my brothers-in-law. So I have had to maintain and pay the property taxes, and they are current. And we just did a roof repair prior to this violation, these violations, and that was $5,000. So this hit us a little hard.
Is this in probate or?
No.
Okay.
It's
Well,
above
how much-
board.
How much time do you think you need to
I could
complete
use another 90 days to comply with this. There was painting involved, and when we did the pressure cleaning, that's complied with, but when we did that, we know there was a broken water pipe in the house, and that created problems. So we have painting to do, and the landscape, I have to replace the sod out front under the big tree.
Okay.
Right.
Any
So-
objection?
There's no objection to a 90-day extension.
I could use,
right.
and I could use some leniency and additional consideration on the
Okay.
fines, if any.
I will not consider lowering the fines until the property's in compliance. So
Okay.
let's take it a step at a time.
Okay.
According to mine, 84 days fits with our calendar, so that's what I'm going to give you. And if you run into a problem, make sure you contact the inspector.
Will do.
You know, you could always request an extension, whether it's granted or not, depends on how diligent you're being.
I
Okay?
appreciate your help. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Do I have to do anything back here?
No.
Thank you.
You'll get an order in the mail, and I'm also going to suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Our next case, page 58, Inspector John Claude Noel, case number CE 25080195, case address 1017 Northeast 5th Street, owner 1017 Northeast 5th Street, LLC. This case was first heard 11/6/25 to comply by 11/16/25 and 12/11/25. There are two suspensions noted on the agenda. 4 sections not complied at $100 per day, $7,600 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Good morning, everyone. Jean-Claude Noel for the City of Fort Lauderdale. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on this property that was just read into on April 13, 2026, and all the violations remains, and the city is requesting full imposition, and fines continue to accrue.
Please state your name for the record.
Chris DeMarco.
Okay. Why aren't we making any progress?
Well, one, I didn't know there was any because you pushed them off and we had continuance, but we have the permit for everything because we're waiting on the city. We were waiting on the city.
Oh.
We had our
Okay.
architect do everything. We had did all our due diligence, and down to the last time I think we had a March date that we missed the deadline on it because they want both the homeowners on each side of the properties to sign a notarized paperwork saying that we secured the trees and whatnot, and we were waiting for them literally to do it. I talked to Jim Fetter at Fort Lauderdale, and he was down there with us and said, yeah, you can only wait on them, but I didn't know there were any fees accruing because you personally said that, not going to assess any fines or anything.
The fines if you get an extension, okay, we will suspend the fines during the time of the extension, but when that extension is up, the fines start to accrue again. They haven't been assessed against you yet, but they're accruing, okay? So I will not deal with the fines until the property is in compliance. So
It's in
how much
compliance. I have
time
the-
do you think you need?
I don't need anything. I was waiting on the city, like literally, like it just, I have the demo permit. I'm not gonna fix stucco when the house is coming down.
All right, you have a demo permit now?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay, all right, so,
Ma'am, he's correct. There are some things that he was waiting for from the city, so we don't have a problem giving him an extension. We can give
Okay.
him 56 more days in the mandatory short period.
What do I need an extension for, though? That's my only question.
because the
I haven't
property's,
torn the, I just got the permit to tear the house down.
yeah, when you tear the house down, clean it all up, you'll be in compliance.
I'll explain it to
That's
you.
not what the city says.
I'll explain it to you when we go further back down.
Okay.
Yeah, let him explain it, he knows best.
Okay, yeah.
But for right now, I'll give you, when do you plan on taking down the building?
I'll take it down yesterday. I would have
Yeah.
taken it down 3 months ago, but I have to wait for the city to do their due diligence, and
I
you
thought
tell
you
me.
said
You want
you
me to
had-
lie to you, or you want me to tell you the truth? It's
Sir.
the city. I know.
Sir, first of all, don't speak when I'm speaking, okay? All I'm trying to find out from you, you're telling me you have a permit, so what's standing in the way of demoing the building?
I just got the permit Friday.
Okay, so I'm asking you, when do you plan on doing the
I'll
demo?
tear it down tomorrow.
Okay, then 56 days should be plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Yep.
All right, 56 days, and we'll suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 46. Inspector Edward Eason, Rafael Santos, presenting case number CE 25090051, case address 1140 Southwest 9th Avenue, owner Nicholas Giachos and Kyle Bennis. This case was first heard 12/11/25 to comply by 12/26/25. One section not complied at $100 per day, $10,900 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Inspector Rafael Santos with the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 25090051 for the property located at 1140 Southwest 9th Ave. At the Special Magistrate hearing December 11th, 2025, Special Magistrate Flynn ordered 15 days to comply or $100 per day thereafter. The notice of hearing was posted on the property March 25th, 2026. Pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 7th, 2026, and the property remains in violation. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines. Just a little bit on the history here. These hedges were like 10 feet high, and the respondent did cut it down to 4 feet, but they have to be 30 inches, which is 2.5 feet. That's why it's still out of compliance.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Nick Jacos.
Okay, did you understand that they have to be 2.5 feet?
Yes, and my landscaper is coming out today to get it to 2 feet as well.
All right. All right, I'll give you 10 days to put it into compliance. And, after that, the fines will continue to accrue.
Okay. Now, once I'm in compliance, do I need to come back to court eventually? Or?
Yeah, you may have to deal with the fines, whether or
Okay.
not they are assessed, okay?
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 44, Inspector Alex Eugene, case number CE 26010770, case address 1421 Ponce de Leon Drive, owner 1421 Ponce de Leon LLC. This case was first cited 12426 to comply by 12426. One section complied at $250 for a total of $250. Appeal deadline was 2/8/26. City is requesting the full amount, and a citation appeal was received.
Inspector Eugene presenting case of address as read. This property was first inspected on January 24, 2026, following a neighbor complaint of parking at a vacation rental, and the following violations were observed. 15-278.1 (E) has been withdrawn. 15-278 parentheses 3, have been withdrawn. 15-275, parentheses 5, the responsible party failed to respond to the property in person within 1 hour of being notified by vacation rental occupant, law enforcement officer, emergency personnel, or the city. This violation is considered transient in nature, thus constitutes an immediate civil penalty.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Zachary Harris, representing 1421 Ponte de Leon, LLC.
Okay, tell me what you want to tell me in support of your appeal.
The trash was put out by tenants.
They withdrew that. They withdrew the parking violation. The only thing you have to address today is not responding within 1 hour to the property after being called.
I received a phone call.
You need to state your name for the record, sir.
Can you
Okay.
put the microphone down toward him, John?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. Yes, well, we don't reside at the property. We manage the property, and we did receive a call. I was not told about an hour because I couldn't have made it anyways.
Okay, who has power of attorney? Okay, but can he speak as a witness? Yeah. Okay,
Anyways, we were not informed about showing up in an hour.
that's your responsibility to know. It's the code, you know.
I learned that afterwards, so, yeah.
Okay,
We're doing everything to comply with all of our properties, so, and that one included, so
yeah.
I would just ask if we
I
can.
understand that, you know, fine, because, you know, it's transient in nature, you know, I won't say it's automatic. I do have some discretion, but is there anything else you want to tell me?
I mean, we strengthened our policies with trash with our tenants.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that you brought, you know, you were diligent with the other violations, but the violation existed. I have to find that the violation existed, so the fine is $250. Thank you.
Our next case, page 54, Inspector Guy Siderman, case number CE 25050571, case address 917 Northwest 12th Avenue, owner Hattie Mae Pratt Estates. This case was first heard 11/6/25 to comply by 1/5/26. Two sections complied at $100 per day, $9,200 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
Name, case, and address as read at the special magistrate hearing on 11/6/2025. Special magistrate duty ordered a 10-day to comply for violation 47, TAC 34, 1A1, 15 days to comply for violation 47, TAC 19, 1D, and for the remaining violations, 60 days to comply or $100 per day per violation thereafter. Violations 47, TAC 21, 9K complied on 2/20/2026, being out of compliance for 46 days. Violation 9, TAC 305B, complied on 2/20/2026, being out of compliance for 46 days. Property was posted on 3/25/2026. As of today's date, all violations are complied. The city is requesting a full imposition of fines. And the owner is here to speak, Your Honor.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, good morning. My name is Donna Pratt McKenzie.
Okay. Looks like you were given an extension and you went past the extension by 46 days. How come?
Yes, ma'am. We were in compliance on February the 23rd. We were given until January to come into compliance, but we had a little difficulties with the tenants that live at that property. The property no longer looks like that. I have updated photos where we are in
the property
compliance.
is in compliance now.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know that, yes.
But it wasn't, so we had to work with contractors to get some things completed. We also laid down the grass, but when it was inspected again, it wasn't enough grass. So that was the only thing that we had to get fixed. We did apply for a lien of amnesty on March the 2nd.
Apply for what, huh?
Is it called amnesty lien?
Oh, okay.
So we did apply for that for March the 2nd to see if we can get the
Okay, so what happens with the amnesty?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
is you currently have a fine of $9,200. If you go through the amnesty program, they will likely charge you only 15% of that.
Okay.
But in order to go through the amnesty program, I have to assess the full fine.
Okay.
All right?
Yes,
So is
ma'am.
that what you want me to do?
Please.
Okay, all right. I'll assess the full fine, and the amnesty program should help you.
Okay, thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Our next case, page 50, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 24120077, case address 2364 Southwest 34th Way, owner Samuel Reed and Anissa Reed. This case was first heard 4/8/25 to comply by 6/10/25 and 7/8/25. There are two suspensions noted on the agenda. Two sections comply to $50 per day, $12,000 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
This is Matthew Flesher with the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 24120077 for the property located at 2364 Southwest 34th Way. At the Special Magistrate on January 13, 2026, Magistrate duty granted a 56-day extension. 9-304B was complied on March 11 of 2026. 9-305B was complied on March 11 of 2026. All violations were complied as of March 11 of 2026. A notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 25, 2026. The city is requesting full imposition of the fines.
Please state your name for the record.
Sam Reed.
Okay, looks like I first heard this in April of last year. Why did it take so long?
Because financial hardship, and it still was, but I made it happen. So now we're in compliance. So I'm asking for, leniency on this fines if we make, because I'm still in financial hardship right now.
Okay. What are the city costs in this matter?
The city costs are $1,161.
All right. I'll reduce to city costs. What is it, 1,600? Okay. All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Our next case, page 62, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 25100650, case address 3820 Southwest 9th Court, owner Edward and Sylvania Jenkins. This case was first heard 2/10/26 to comply by 2/25/26, 3/10/26, and 5/12/26. There are four sections not complied at $50 per day, $5,900 accrued, and the fines continue to accrue. This is a request for an extension.
Good morning, Inspector Rachel Moore for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case as read. This property was first brought before the Special Magistrate on 12/11/25, and at that hearing, Special Magistrate Flynn ordered 49 days to comply for the violation of 18-1, and for the remaining violations, 105 days, or $50 per day per violation thereafter. As a post-magistrate inspection dated 10/3/10/26, the property remains out of compliance, and as of pre-hearing inspection dated 4/13/26, the property remains out of compliance. The property owner is here to represent and speak on behalf of his property.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Edward Jenkins.
Okay, Mr. Jenkins, why is this taking so long?
Health reasons.
Pardon me?
Health reasons. Disabled.
Okay, all right. What about the pool? That concerns me the most because it's a health problem.
Well, can I bring this up?
Sure, yeah.
Special Magistrate, if I may, the city has come together to try to assist Mr. Jenkins.
Okay.
So we are collaborating with the neighborhood support.
Okay, so will you
To take
support
care
an
of it.
extension?
Yes, very
Okay,
much so.
How much?
Special Magistrate, the city would like to request a 119-day extension
Okay,
and a mandatory reappearance.
okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'll let you take this back because you need it. And I'm going to grant, Okay, I can keep it? Okay. I'm going to grant a 119-day extension and suspend the fines during that time, and you will reappear before me on August 11th.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Special Magistrate.
Our next case, page 17, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 2601-0013, case address 3221 Southwest 17th Street, owner Joseph Hall and Christina Ann Thompson, posted at property 32426, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Co-Compliance, presenting case number CE 26010013 for the property located at 3221 Southwest 17th Street. This case was first cited on January 4, 2026 for the following violations. 18-11A is complied. 18-12A, there is trash, rubbish, and debris on this property. Dead palm fronds are piled in the backyard. 9-305A is complied. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the swale. 9-306, there are areas of the exterior with stains and missing or peeling paint. Areas along the drip line have black stains. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 10, and the following violations remained. 18-12A, 9-305B, 9-306. The city is seeking a compliance deadline of 15 days for violation 18-12A, a compliance deadline of 56 days for violations 9-305B and 9-306, or a fine of $50 per day per violation to run thereafter.
Please state your name for the record.
I'm Joseph Hall.
Okay, Mr. Hull, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within the time requested by the city?
I am. I've been working out of state for the last year. So I have my mother's boyfriend. She left me the house. Her boyfriend still lives there. He's 77 years old, and he's become frail, and it was kind of his responsibility for years. So now I've moved home. I'm back, and I'm getting things caught up. There is no more debris in the backyard. I hired Ebenezer Lawn Services to come out and gave them a fortune to come clean out the backyard and all the palm fronds and trim the trees and what have you.
Okay.
The swale you can see in this picture, that we do use it for parking for 3 cars. Our driveway's small. What's the situation with parking on the swale?
Yeah,
So
it's kind of commonplace in our
I'll
neighborhood.
let him explain it to you.
You are allowed to park on the swale, but it is also the responsibility of the property owner to maintain the swale, and there's got to be, according to this code, there's got to be living ground cover both on the property and on the swale.
Living ground cover?
Yes.
Okay, so mulch, gravel?
So I can give you more.
Would gravel work on it? We can talk about it later.
Yeah, he'll give you more information if you want to talk to him.
Just something more easier to maintain
After
in
the
this
hearing.
neighborhood.
Okay, so 15 days for the trash, rubbish, and debris,
And that's done
56 days for all the rest of them, or $50 a day thereafter.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 58. Inspector Gail Williams, case number CE 2407-0226, case address 1423 Holly Heights Drive, owner the Cascade at Holly Heights condo. This case was first heard at 1:30:25 to comply by 3:27:25. There are 4 suspensions noted on the agenda. 1 section not complied at $100 per day, $6,000 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Good morning, Special Magistrate. Senior Officer Gail Wins, presenting for the City of Fort Lauderdale, case CE 24070226, address 1423 Holly Heights Drive. The case was first heard on January 30th, 2025. The violation of 47-20.20(H) has not complied. There are parking facilities that are not maintained at this property. There are oil stains, cracks, potholes, and discoloration. The property representative is here in requesting an extension.
Okay, what's the city's position?
As of April 7, 2026, a permit was submitted. Well, an application for the permit was submitted. It has not been submitted to the property owner. As of right now, to the understanding of the representative, they do have a contractor. The contractor submitted the application. Right now, they're waiting for approval. However, as discussed earlier, I don't mind giving 56 days an extension with the reappearance to come back.
Okay.
They have a drainage issue underneath this parking lot, but when they started pricing it out, it was in the millions of dollars, and they just could not afford it. Unfortunately, they're just not a very wealthy community. They're, people are living, at their means, but unfortunately, this kind of special assessment was going to break the association and its members. So they trimmed that back. They started looking to do the resurfacing, which is what Officer Williams was actually seeking in the initial phases. They brought the other issues into compliance rather quickly, but this has taken a while. They finally got a contractor that was reasonable. They've signed that contract. Even for resurfacing, it's costing them, I think, in the range of about $70,000 to do this. So they've finally gotten that. They've submitted the permit. I've been, pushing, kicking and pushing, but they've finally gotten it to this point. So we're just asking for the time to finish that. The permit should be done relatively quickly. The city's asked for just a site plan that they're doing right now. Once they have that, I think we'll have the permit, and then just the project should be fast.
All right, 56 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 15. Inspector, address 649 Northwest 22nd Road. Owner, May Properties, LLC. Posted at property 3/16/26. Posted at 1 East Broward 3/31/26.
Name, case, and address as read. The property was first inspected on 2/4/2026 and given time to correct for the following violations. Violation 15, Tag 28, the below businesses at this location are operating without a current year business tax receipt. HB House of Beauty, Unit 1, BD Bohemian Dolls, Unit 2, Justice Juice It, Unit 3, Popular Smoke Shop, Unit 4, Black Circle Mobile Detailing, Unit 5. The property was posted on 3/16/2026. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 4/7/2026. The property remains in violation. City is requesting compliance within 56 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter, and the owner is present to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Omer Shahar.
Okay, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 56 days or face a fine of $100?
Of course, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can I ask for, the thing is that all the tenants submitted their applications. It's being processed right now. They told me it's about 30 days or so.
Okay.
My question is, I had to sit down with them and apply for this. The area, is not the easiest. So I had to sit down with each one and apply with them, sit on the computer. So my thing is, if it processes and let's say they they ask for additional documents, the city, and they don't provide it or they can't, can I, and then I have to evict them, because this is a tenant
Let's
obligation.
take it a step at a time. The applications are in. You can, if you run up against the 56 days and you still have something missing, contact the inspector. You can request an extension.
Special magistrate?
But what?
Is it okay if we do a mandatory reappearance?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. The mandatory reappearance would be on June 9th. You'll come back here, and that way you can give me an update. And then if you're being diligent and doing everything you're supposed to, I can give you more time if the reason is legitimate, okay?
Okay, so June 9th, that's the 56 days?
That's
Or
56
more?
days,
Okay,
yes.
got you. Okay, thank you so much.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, page 7. Inspector John Claude Noel, case number CE 2503-0363, case address 625 Northeast 17th Terrace, owner 1025 Park LLC. posted at property 31726, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Jean-Claude Noel with the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case that was just read. This property was first inspected on 3/15/2025 for the following violations. Violation 9-305B. The asphalt at this driveway at this property is not being maintained. The surface has cracks in areas that are stained with dirt and oil. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 13, 2026, and the property remains in violation. The city is requesting 56 days to comply with this violation, 9-305, or a fine of $100 per day per violation thereafter.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Arthur Polio.
Okay. Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 56 days or face a fine of $100 a day?
Yes. Rose, I'd like to say first, whenever I come up here, that it's so easy to jump into business, but people forget that you're a volunteer, so I'd like to thank you for your time.
Okay. I'm not a volunteer, but that's okay. All right.
Yes, 56 days is fine. We've executed a contract. You might have remembered me about a month before. We were the property was damaged by the city contractor that put all the new gas lines in, and so we're going to cure that at the same time. We're replacing some rock in the swale. It was destroyed by the city contractor, and we're working with the assistant to the mayor's office to cure that. But the wheels of government move slow, so I'm not sure what kind of relief they're going to offer. But so we've proceeded to. I'm kind of excited to do it. We're paving. There's 2 parking lots there. We're paving both parking lots. I already signed the contract. Officer Noel, who's been very helpful, he has copied that, and I'm not in charge of the schedule, but it's on the board. So
Okay. 56 days, $100 a day. If you run into a problem, just contact the inspector, okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you have another one on this?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
He
okay.
does, but it's going to be a comply case for finding of fact.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's going to be 633 Northeast 17th Terrace, page 7.
Next case, also page 7, Inspector John Claude Noel, case number CE 25120824, case address 633 Northeast 17th Terrace, owner 1025 Park LLC, posted at property 31726, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Jean-Claude Noel for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case that was just read. This property was first inspected on 3/15/2026 for the following violations. 18-1. There is animal waste throughout this property that's creating a public nuisance and is not being maintained in such a manner that the property or maybe reasonably become infested or inhabited by rodents, vermin, or wild animals, endangering the public safety and welfare that may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of the adjacent property. This is a reoccurring violation. See previous case number CE 250-30358. This violation is complied. The city is only requesting a finding of fact for 18-1.
Okay. Please state your name again for the record.
Arthur Polio. I'm a
Okay.
native of Fort Lauderdale.
All right. So the city's asking me for a finding of fact. That means you won't be fined today, but because of the recurring nature of the violation, if it happens again, you will be fined, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Okay, thank you.
Our next case, page 10, Inspector Elijah Johnson, case number CE 26010865, case address 435 Northwest 7th Terrace, owner One Step Investments LLC, posted at property 31826, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Good morning, Elijah Johnson, City of Fort Lauderdale, Code Compliance Officer, presenting case 260-10865 for property located at 435 Northwest 7th Terrace. This property was first inspected on January 28th, 26, and not complied. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. The city is requesting compliance with 50 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
How many days?
50 days.
56.
56.
Or how much?
Or 100.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Adesh Jang Bahadur.
Okay. Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance by finishing the landscaping within 56 days?
Yes,
All right. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
First case. Our next case, page 53, Inspector Guy Siderman, case number CE 25040484, case address 2311 Northwest 7th Street, owner Bracco and Brito LLC. This case was first heard 11/19/25 to comply by 12/4/25 and 129/26. Two sections complied at $100 per day, $12,900 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
Name, case, and address as read at the Special Magistrate hearing on 11/19/2025. Special Magistrate Flynn ordered 71 days to comply for violation 9 TAC 305B and 15 days to comply for the remaining violations, or $100 per day per violation thereafter. Violation 1812A complied on 2/2/2026, being out of compliance for 60 days. Violation 9 TAC 305B complied on 4/8/2026, being out of compliance for 69 days. Property was posted on 3/25/26. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 7, 2026. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines, and the representative is here to speak.
Please state your name for the record.
Santiago Goyri, I'm representing Bradshaw & Bradshaw LLC, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me why it took so long and why you went past the extension you were given?
We received the notifications very late, and as soon as we got them, we got in touch with Mr. Sediman and did the work required as immediately. So the work is done, and
Yeah, but you had 15 days just to pick up the trash, and you went 60 days over that.
we didn't know that. The tenants didn't tell us about that they received their letters from the city. So as soon as we got them, we got in touch with the city and Mr. Sediman.
Okay. All right. Anything else from the city?
Nothing else, no.
What are city costs?
The admin costs are $764.
All right. I will reduce the fine to $1,500, including admin costs.
Thank you very much,
All right.
ma'am. Thank you.
Our next case, page 55, Inspector Guy Siderman, case number CE 25070474, case address 728 Northwest 20th Avenue, owner Rodney Davis and Claude Hanlon. This case was first heard 11/6/25 to comply by 11/21/25 and 12/11/25. 7 sections not complied at $50 per day, $45,400 accrued. The city is requesting the full amount, and the fines continue to accrue.
Name, case, and address as read at the Special Magistrate hearing on 11/6/2025. Special Magistrate duty ordered 15 days to comply for violation 18 TAC 12A and 9 TAC 305A, and for the remaining violations, 35 days to comply or $50 per day per violation thereafter. The notice of the hearing was posted on 3/25/26. The pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 4/7/26, and the property remained in violation. The city is requesting a full imposition of fines which continue to accrue, and a representative is here.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Claude Hanlon.
All right. We don't seem to be making much progress here.
I was talking to a guy earlier. So from last year, January, my brother Rodney that lived there, he went missing in the city of Fort Lauderdale. They found him at Broad General Hospital. He's diagnosed with dementia. I took him in, so I'm his caregiver. And I also have my dad that I'm a caregiver for, that's 91, that can't walk. So it's been hard for me to get over there and deal with the issues over there.
Then on top of that, last year he had friends living there that I had to get evicted, I think April last year, that I had to deal with. So,
Okay. I understand life's not too easy for you right now.
no, it's not.
But we really have to get this stuff done, and it doesn't take much to just pick up the trash. You had 15 days, and you've gone 144 days over that 15 days. And so it makes it tough to continue to give you extensions in spite of the fact that I understand your circumstances.
Right.
You know, so I'm not going to give any more extensions on the trash, rubbish, and debris and the landscape that's encroaching on the public right-of-way. You need to take care of that right away. Okay. But I will give you an extension on the other 3 violations because I understand that that will take some time to do.
There's more on the next page.
Oh, geez. Okay. The remaining violations, I will give you one more 56-day extension. Do you think that will help?
Yes.
Okay, 56 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time. But you have to go today so the fines don't continue to accrue, and pick up the trash and trim back what's on the public right-of-way.
Okay.
All right? Because that could present a danger to somebody. All right? Okay. 305A, no extension. We're going to impose those? Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 49, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 2506-0038, case address 2081 Southwest 37 Terrace, owner Craig L. Fueling. This case was first heard 11/6/25 to comply by 11/21/25 and 1/29/26. One section complied at $50 per day, $550 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 25060038 for the property located at 2081 Southwest 37th Terrace. At the Special Magistrate hearing on November 6, 2025, Magistrate duty ordered 15 days to comply for 9-313A, 84 days to comply for violation 9-280H and 9-304B, and for the remaining violations, 35 days to comply or a daily fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter. The only violation that ran fines was 9-305B, and it complied on December 22, 2025. All violations were complied as of December 22, 2025. Notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 25, 2026. The city is requesting full imposition of the fines.
Okay, what does city costs?
The city costs are $1,032.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Craig Lewis Fueling.
Okay, looks like you got everything done, and I appreciate that. The only one that you were out of compliance with was the landscaping. That took a little longer?
Pardon?
The landscaping took a little longer than you anticipated?
You know, the landscaping there on the swale, our sprinklers were broken by the FP&L Mastech putting in underground wiring. You know,
all right.
My wife died from COVID. Things have been tough.
Special Magistrate,
Yeah.
because of how quickly he came into compliance, the city would like to request no fines.
Okay, all right. I was going to do that anyway. All right, no fights.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case, page 8, Inspector Edward Eason, Rafael Santos, presenting case number CE 26030499, case address 1700 West Las Olas Boulevard, owner Doran and Rena Ziv, posted at property 31826, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Good morning, Inspector Rafael Santos, presenting for Inspector Eason, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, case CE 2603-0499 for the property located at 1700 West Las Olas Boulevard. On March 7th, 2026, the following violation was observed by Senior Night Inspector Kroc. Violation 47-34.1.A.1. There's illegal land use occurring at this zoned RS residential property, Silk Lifestyle event, advertised and hosted a paid event called Emerald Covenant on the night of March 7th, 2026. Notice of hearing was posted on the property March 18th, 2026. The city is requesting an imposition of $15,000 fine due to the irreparable, irreversible nature and nuisance to the residential neighborhood.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning again. My name is Ofer Amir. I'm an attorney representing the two respondents. I'm sure I don't need to tell you that the city is asking for a heightened finding, and they have a certain burden of proof, which they presented no evidence on. At most, they presented some evidence that they might have been a party, that it might have been for pay, but I want to give you my side, the owner's side of the story. The owners do not reside at this property. They reside in Plantation. They have this property that they recently acquired. They use it for special family gatherings. They let friends stay over. It's not a commercial enterprise, never was and never will be. Now, a few weeks prior to this date, a friend of Mr. Ziv, who's also here today, approached him and asked him if a friend of his can host a small dinner party of no more than 20 people. And Mr. Ziv, a kind-hearted man, said, okay. He had no idea of what was about to happen. In fact, but for a neighbor calling him the next morning, telling him that there was a party at his house, he wouldn't have known that. He did not charge for this party. He didn't get paid for this party. He didn't participate in this party. He didn't attend this party. Worse, this is apparently an alternative lifestyle event, which, as I understand it, was a swingers party. And now every time Mr. Ziv drives down the street, the neighbors are looking at him, and here are swingers. The same with respect to his wife, and the same with respect to his kids. So this has never happened before. It will never happen again. There's no evidence before you today that this requires any sort of heightened fine, because specifically Section 16209 addresses this, and it says only serious threat to public health, safety, and welfare justifies a fine, not $15,000, but up to $15,000. So if this is an offense, it's a first offense. But I submit that it's not an offense because the owners had no intent. And if you look at the code and the statute, requires intent. They had to know, and they didn't know. So it's true
What
something...
language requires intent?
Sorry?
What language requires intent?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly. So the code says violate. The respondents did not directly violate. The code says or permit to be violated. And so the word permit requires some sort of authorization and direct conduct by the owners. All they agreed to was a small gatherings of 20 people for a dinner. They were told that only lawyers and doctors would come to this gathering. And permit to be violated is the last part of that. It also requires a conscious authorization of the specific acts. None of this was present here. But even if it was, again, a fine up to $15,000 would require specific finding. There was a serious threat to public health, safety, and welfare, which we don't have here. This was a one-time event, happened for just a few hours, and the shame and embarrassment that is now upon these people that own the property and occasionally visit them, I think is more than sufficient punishment for this, for what happened here.
Okay. City Attorney, want to weigh in?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Rhonda Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Obviously, I'm going to dispute what counsel said, that there's no evidence presented. You're seeing on the screen an event advertisement, Emerald Covenant. You can Google it currently, and it still shows up on Google as the Emerald Covenant Mansion Party on March 7th, 2026. So there is evidence of a commercial event. The ad that Your Honor is seeing shows a price, different price ranges. So there is certainly evidence of a commercial event that's taken place.
Was there a picture of the party, the place itself on the night in question?
Special Magistrate?
Yeah.
That was the picture of the rear of the property,
Yeah.
which matches that property at hand. And then additionally, Senior Night Code Compliance Officer Robert Kroc responded to a noise complaint that night, so he can testify to as what he observed the night of the alleged event.
Okay.
Magistrate Senior Code Officer Robert Kroc. That night we got a complaint about parking and noise for that property. There was no parking or noise violations, but there was obviously some sort of activity going on at the property. People were being dropped off there. The vehicles were not staying, so that's why there was no violation for that. They were being Ubered there. There was some other parking arrangement done. But there was a large amount of people entering and exiting the property, but they weren't being in any nighttime violation status. So, and we could not find the ad at the time, so there was no violations on the night side. But there was something going on there.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Also, PD had responded to the property.
Okay. All right.
And I'd just like to add, Your Honor, if I could, under Florida statute 16209, in order to find a up to $15,000 fine, there just needs to be a finding that the violation is irreparable or irreversible in nature. And as Your Honor knows, a commercial event, it's irreparable or irreversible by its very nature. It's a one-time event. There's a disparate impact to a residential neighborhood, which is why commercial events are not permitted in there. That being said, we would rely on Your Honor to impose what you feel is appropriate up to the $15,000.
Brief rebuttal, Your Honor.
Sure.
Can we go back to the ad that was used as evidence? Can the city point to the address linking this to my client's property? There's no address. Nothing here links it to my client's property. And as the officer testified, when he was there that night, he was there that night. Had there been an opportunity to cite for any violation, he would have done it. He told you that.
Okay.
And one last thing, I couldn't find a single case law that would support the position that the city attorney took. The only thing that I was able to find that said that the heightened fine up to $15,000 would apply would be if there was a serious threat to public health, safety, or welfare. And the cases that actually were affirmed on appeal was where people took apart historic properties. There was some permanent damages. With all due respect, a party, one night for a few hours, without the knowledge or consent of the owner, does not rise to the level of irreparable and irreversible nature. I respectfully find that there was no violation, and if you do find a violation, a small fine of maybe $100, I think would be sufficient.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
No.
All right. I'm going to assess a fine of $1,200. And that's it.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 7, Inspector Edward Eason, Rafael Santos, presenting case number CE 26010343, case address 801 Southwest 20th Avenue, owner Excellent Property Manager Services LLC, posted at property 32526, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
801?
801, okay.
Southwest, yeah.
Here we go. Inspector Rafael Santos presenting case for Inspector Eason, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting CE 26010343 for the property that is located at 801 Southwest 20th Avenue. The property was inspected on January 14th, 2026, and the following violation was observed. Violation 47-21.15.A.1, a laurel oak tree was removed from this zoned RM15 residential property without first obtaining a tree removal permit from the city. The notice of hearing was posted on the property March 25th, 2026. A pre-hearing inspection of the city records conducted on April 12th, 2026, and the tree removal permit was applied for but not yet completed. The city is requesting 56 days or $100 thereafter once compliance is met. The city is also requesting a one-time fine of $1,000 for the tree removal without a permit.
Please state your name for the record.
Darrell Gatson.
Okay. And what do you want to tell me about this tree removal without a permit?
Well, I'm new to Florida. The tree was overhanging on my house. The limbs were touching the roof. I was afraid of the tree ruining the foundation because the roots are so big and the limbs over the tree.
So the tree was on someone else's property?
It's my property.
Oh, okay.
But the limbs was hanging on the roof. I was afraid of damaging the roof, and the roofs were damaging. They are damaging the foundation to the house. So I decided on removing the tree. And my gardener didn't inform me that I had to get a permit or what I needed to do that.
All right. You'll have 56 days to apply for that permit.
I applied for the permit. They never responded back to me as of yet.
Okay.
That
All
I
right.
know of.
Or $100 a day thereafter, and I'll give you a $250 fine.
All right. So I have 56 days to remove to get the stump out there.
56 days to get your permit. The tree's
permit.
already removed. That's
Okay.
why you're getting fined, because
Okay.
it's irreparable. I can't do anything about it.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 48. Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 2506-0813, case address 2961 Southwest 17th Place, owner Frederick G. Barron. This case was first heard 12/11/25 to comply by 12/26/25. One suspension from 2/10/26 to 3/10/26. One section complied at $50 per day, $6,000 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 25060813 for the property located at 2961 Southwest 17th Place. At the hearing on February 10, Magistrate duty granted a 28-day extension. 47-39.A.1.B 6B complied on March 11 of 2026. All violations were complied as of March 11 of 2026. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 25, 2026. The city is requesting full imposition of the fines.
Please state your name for the record.
Frederick Ryan.
Okay, why did it take so long to remove the outdoor storage?
I didn't realize there was a problem. It's an 8-foot kayak on a frame in my driveway. But also, something that I think the code compliance guys missed. Our street, 17th Place, is not actually a street, it's a driveway giving access to the street. It's a dead end, single lane, barely paved. We own our street in front of our house, and I was told you don't have a jurisdiction there. As far as I can have whatever I want in front of my house. But all I had was I moved the kayak anyway.
It was more than just a kayak. It was white poles, cushions, gray plastic tote, all being stored in that outdoor space.
There's a white PVC framework that was holding up the kayak.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay. All right.
But that's beside the point.
Does city
I was told
attorney want
that
to
you do not
address
have
my
jurisdiction.
in this matter?
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'll excuse you, because when I'm talking, you need to not talk.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
apologize.
All right.
Your Honor, this is a Massey hearing, so it was already found to be a valid violation back in December of 2025. I believe that when the gentleman was here the last time, my recollection is the only thing that he needed to move was the kayak.
Oh, okay.
Everything else had been removed prior.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so it took you 120 days to move the kayak.
I didn't realize there was a problem until the last time I was in here. Oh, yeah, I moved the kayak. It's like,
Well, there obviously was a problem, because you accrued $6,000 in fines.
that's crazy. I'm sorry, but that's nuts. Now, my issue, serious, I think that the bigger issue here is the fact that me and my next door neighbor, it's a dead-end street, it's like our driveway, providing access to 3 houses. We own the street in front of our house. And I was told, actually repeatedly by my neighbors, that the city can't tell me what to have in front of my driveway.
Okay, well, unfortunately, your neighbors hold no legal precedence in this hearing. And you were told the last time you were here to remove the kayak. You were given.
So I did.
You were given an extension within which to do that of, what was it, 35 days?
28 days, so yes.
28 days. But you went past that by 120 days.
No, I didn't.
When did you remove the kayak?
It was in the, when I was in here the other time I was in here, I got the extension with 28 days, and I think I moved the kayak within a week or two. I just moved it into behind the fence on the side of the house.
Okay.
So there was, he was not present for the original hearing, so he came for the first Massey hearing when he requested the extension.
Okay. All right. He's saying he removed the kayak within 2 weeks
Of the extension time frame, yes.
Oh, okay, but these accrued before then?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, all right. All right, what is city cost?
The city cost is $903.
Okay, I will assess a fine of $1,200, including city costs. Yes. Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
I'll see you in court. I ain't paying it.
Well, that's your right.
Our next case, page 36, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 26010424, case address 670 Southwest 29th Avenue, owner Javier Civente Delfino, posted at property 31126, posted at 1 East Broward 33126. Where's Jessica?
Hi, good morning. Sorry, no English, please.
No, no worries.
Okay.
36. Jessica, do you swear or affirm to translate from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English?
Inspector Rachel Moore for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case as read. This property was first inspected on 1/15/26, and the following violations were observed. 18-1, there's roof storage consisting of car tools, ramps, and other miscellaneous items at this property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property is or may become or threatens or endangers the public health, safety, or welfare, or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. 18-4 parentheses C is complied. 47-34.1.8.1. There is illegal land use occurring at this RS8 residential single-family low-medium density zone property. There is outside storage consisting of tires and car motors. 47-34.4.B.1 is complied. 98-280 parentheses H parentheses 1. The fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The chain link fence at this property is missing the poles, and the chain link is also leaning into the sidewalk. 9-304 parentheses B. There are vehicles, trailers parked on the grass lawn area. There are 4 vehicles being parked on the lawn. Also, the driveway at this property has cracks and stains and potholes. 9-305A is complied. 9-305 parentheses B. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. There has been no contact with the property owner regarding these cited violations. As a pre-hearing inspection dated 4/13, the property does remain out of compliance. The city is requesting the following. For the violation of 18-1 and 47-34.1.8.1, 28 days or $50 per day per violation thereafter. And for all remaining violations, 84 days or $50 per day per violation thereafter.
Okay. Ask him to state his name for the record, please.
Javier Alejandro Silvente Delfino.
Okay. And can you explain to him the violations and what the city is requesting as far as time and fines?
Ok.
Primero es porque tiene cosas debajo del techo, como herramientas, sorpresas, ¿no? Ella te quiere dar. It was 28 days for the first two, right?
Correct.
28 días para arreglar estas dos cosas. Y si no, va a ser $50 al primero. Y si quiere, piensa que necesita más tiempo, después pero y las otras dos son porque la acera, la cerca, le faltan cosas y se está cayendo. Y el otro es porque hay áreas que no tienen hierba. Can you go to the photo of the no grass on the swale? Hay una área que no tiene hierba, que tienen que ponerle hierba, pero para eso todo, ella te quiere dar 84 días. O $50 el día que te van a multar. ¿Piensas que puedes hacer esto en 28 y esto en 84 o quieres o necesitas más tiempo?
El ground sería afuera, acá la hierba.
Ajá, afuera y adentro. The ground cover is missing on the property and on the swale?
Correct.
Yes. So las dos.
Mira, en la cerca vamos a empezar primero. Fui a sacar los permisos, tengo acá los permisos. No han sido posibles sacarlos, sí. Siempre hay algún problema. Nunca puedo hacerlo. Ok, mira acá.
Okay. ¿Y
Mira mi survey.
¿Y va a ser la misma o va a ser otra?
Va a ser otra.
Okay. So he said that for the fence, he had to get permits and he just got them. He said he's going to start doing the fence now that he has the permits, and he might change it from a chain link to something else.
Okay. Can you ask him if he agrees with the time limits and the fines if he doesn't meet them?
Para todo, los primeros 28 días está bien o quiere más tiempo?
Creo que la cerca no va a ser posible en 28 días. Llevo más de 4 meses por la cerca.
84 por la cerca.
Quizás yo necesitaría, si había alguna opción de cómo la ciudad aprobarme los permisos, porque el permiso yo lo someto hoy y demora 30 días en decirme si está aprobado o no. Quizás lo someto y me dicen no está aprobado, son 30 días. Debo esperar 30 días más para someterlo. Creo que completo 80 días.
Para todo.
En 2 intentos a lo mejor de la cerca. No me lo aprueban y voy a cometer una infracción en 80 días, no me va a dar tiempo en la cerca.
Sí, bueno, en 80 días sí puedes regresar y pedir más tiempo.
Okay. Si pudiera hacerlo así, sí.
He wants to know if for all the violations, if he can get 84 days, because he said he's not sure if he'll be able to complete everything.
Well, the first 2 is only to remove the outside storage and the storage, the roofed storage. So why is it going to take 84 days to remove the storage?
Para poner las hojas, como para guardar las cosas como las gomas de los carros, las herramientas, eso lo puedes hacer en 28 días.
Sí.
Entonces solamente las cosas grandes necesitan más tiempo, como la hierba y la cerca.
Sí. En la cerca yo le hice una pequeña reparación.
Okay, está bien. So yeah, he said that the 18-1 and 47-34-1A1, he can do the 28 days, and for the other remaining violations, 84 days.
Okay. And explain to him that if he doesn't get it done in that period of time, he'll have the $50 fine a day for each violation. So if he runs into a problem, make sure he contacts the inspector. Okay?
So, y si en 28 días no puede hacer eso, sí te van a multar $50 al día. So, lo que yo recomiendo es que antes que
Pasan los 28 días si no he podido.
si puedes llamar a ella o ella me puede llamar a mí para preguntar, para ponerte a otro texto, para preguntar para más tiempo, sin multar. Pero tiene que comunicarse con ella porque ella es la que sabe.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 48, Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 2401-0489, case address 3716 Southwest 14th Street, owner Paul and Veronique Leclerc. This case was first heard 1/14/25 to comply by 5/13/25. There are 3 suspensions noted on the agenda. One section complied at $50 per day, $1,800 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 24100489 for the property located at 3716 Southwest 14th Street. At the hearing on February 2, Special Magistrate duty granted a 28-day extension. 9-304B complied on February 18 of 2026. All violations were complied as of February 18, 2026. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 25, 2026. The city is requesting full imposition of the fines.
And what's city cost?
$1,462.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Veronique Leclerc.
Okay. And why was the boat there 36 days beyond?
The what?
Yeah.
The what?
Magistrate, it was actually the
Driveway.
The driveway was what was taking so long. The
The
parking on the
driveway.
grass is part of it, but the driveway was the main issue.
Okay, all right.
Here's what's happened. I'll give you a brief rundown. We've spoke before. Thank you for letting me be here. I work 2 jobs. I work a lot. It's only me. My husband's ill. In between this time of meeting Matthew, Paul's been in the hospital 2 more times and had 3 more stents put in his heart. I've moved heaven and earth. By the grace of God, I finally got enough money to get the gravel. I'm 67 years old. I wanted to try to cut down on my workload. And if you find me, there is no way I can do it. We have our grandson who has Asperger's. I can't get help from him, for him. It's all on me. I'm throwing myself on your mercy. I don't know what else to say. I've been here. I've tried. I've done everything.
Okay, I'm going to waive the fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good luck to you. babe.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 7, Inspector Edward Eason, Rafael Santos, presenting case number CE 2601-0034, case address 1119 West Las Olas Boulevard, owner 1119 West Las Olas LLC, posted at property 32526, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Good morning, Inspector Rafael Santos, presenting case for Inspector Eason. Keep up. For the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Division, presenting CE 2601-0034 for the property located at 1119 West Las Olas Boulevard. On January 2nd, 2026, the City Landscaping Division reported the following violations. Violation 47-21.15.8.1. 3 trees were removed from the zoned RML 15 residential property without first obtaining a tree removal permit from the city. The trees were a mango tree, a Rica palm tree, and a royal palm tree. Violation 47-21.15.d, a slash pine tree had a major branch removed. The notice of hearing was posted on the property on March 25th, 2026. Pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 12th, 2026, and the violations remained. The city is requesting 84 days or $100 thereafter to obtain the tree removal permit and an arborist report for the abused tree. The city is also requesting a one-time fine of $1,000 for each of the 4 trees, totaling $4,000. We have the city landscaping arborist here to testify.
Okay.
Hello, Robert Fisk with the City of Fort Lauderdale Landscape Department. The one tree in the back, the pine tree, was major branch was removed, and an arborist report will be needed to indicate how that tree will be remedied over time. And the other trees will need an after-the-fact tree removal permit to move forward with the property for the removal of those trees.
What, because I'm not familiar with taking that one branch off, what should have been
Well, it was taken off. It was a major branch taken off, and an arborist report we reviewed this with the department, and they feel that an arborist report we don't want the tree removed. We feel that an arborist report would show how they would let the tree recover over time, like other branches would sprout out, and then an arborist would basically go up there and selectively leave one main branch to rebalance the tree.
Okay, but what I'm asking a question about is, I know it's illegal to remove a tree that's on the list without a permit.
Yes.
Is it also illegal?
It's considered tree abuse by the city code, and we have two options. They can either remove the tree with a permit to rectify that and go through mitigation to replace trees back on the property, or they can get an arborist report showing how they're going to remediate the tree over time.
Okay, all right. And so that needed to be done in advance of taking that. I just want to make sure you understand.
That's just for the one pine tree in the back that had tree abuse on it.
Right.
We want the tree to remain. However, we want it to be correctly healed over time with an arborist report.
Because I've seen a lot of hacking, the hacking cases.
They vary in severity.
Okay.
Whereas the other trees are gone completely, and those would need an after-the-fact tree removal permit to move forward with those.
Okay, all right. Okay, please state your name for the record.
Excuse me, my name is Mark Cohen.
Okay, and are you in agreement with getting the permit within 84 days or $100 a day thereafter and obtaining an arborist report for the pine tree?
No, I am not.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to the pine tree first. That pine tree sits, and that's a misleading picture. I have one here that's more accurate. But that pine tree sits where 3 lots come together, and there's a fence that over time has had to be moved around the root base of that tree. That particular branch that you are alluding to right there faces due west. My building literally faces due east. I don't want to rat out anybody, but there has been change of ownership in the adjoining property to me. And I am not responsible for that branch coming off. I have never paid anybody or done it myself to have that branch removed. If you would like to see the photo I brought for you,
sure.
It's not so good because it's a copy, but it sits right on the lot line of 3 properties. If you look at the base, there are 3 fences that come together right where that tree is. And it's a very large tree, and that's a very large branch. I was actually not even aware they had cut it off because I hadn't been back there.
Okay, go back there.
You have to go back to the podium, sir. Yeah, you can't pick up your
So,
voice.
I didn't cut it, and I can't, again, I'm not ratting anybody else out, but I'm standing here under oath telling you it wasn't me that cut that branch or anybody who worked for me, or did I authorize anybody to cut that branch off that tree?
Okay. What happens in that situation?
In these situations, the tree originates on your property, though, correct?
It's a large part of it does. It literally is on the wall. There was a retaining wall back there in the 70s. The whole thing had been deteriorated because the roots had messed the fence, the wall, whatever. Technically, I'm guessing, yes, it's on my side of everything.
Yeah, in these cases, what happens is this happens all the time, where a neighbor will trim your tree inadvertently, but ultimately you are responsible for it because the tree originates on your property. It then becomes a civil matter between you and the property owner next to you, what happens from these proceedings. But unfortunately, you are responsible for what happens to the trees on your property.
Okay.
Then my reaction is we're going to leave it, of course, and keep it growing. I mean, I didn't remove it, and I don't want it removed. I left it.
Yeah, and that's why the city offers the option of getting an arborist report to show that how the tree is going to be remediated over time, how that one branch is going to send out branchlets, and an arborist over time will selectively prune back others to let one major one become the new dominant branch on that branch that was cut.
Man, it seems like a lot of responsibility on me for a rogue neighbor
That's why
doing my property, and
you
a
can-
lot of expense.
You
and
can
a
go
lot
after
of,
your neighbor.
Well,
you know.
I'm not going to fine you for this tree, okay?
Wow, okay.
But what about the trees that were removed?
Okay, so I've owned this property since 2024. The property was previously owned by one person from 1970 until 2024. The photos they are using are predating my next door neighbor who did his work on his property 4.5 years ago. And there's a much different tree canopy on the whole block. So how can I I don't even know what they're talking about. I mean, unless you have a date specific to when this data was taken, which is what I asked for in writing previous to coming here.
Did you remove these trees?
No. This is an old property. There were so many violations when I took over the property. It shouldn't have even been inhabitable. There was junk everywhere, everything. So I have submitted 3 site plans. I've been approved. It's in a historic district. I have finalized every permit. I have passed every single thing. This whole thing is a bit of a retribution because I'm having a dispute with, apparently maintaining your property is also a violation if you seal coat it and put cold patch on it, because that all led me to here today.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's not in front of me today.
If you guys want to go on the record, I have emails.
Not in front of me today.
Your Honor?
Not
So
interested.
no, I mean, you show me the data points, that's an undated photo. My neighbor's property doesn't even look like that anymore. There's a huge canopy that's not there. I didn't do any of it.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
Hi, good morning. So I just pulled up BCPA. All those trees are within his parcel. The trees
Okay.
were within the parcel. We cite per the parcel. If those trees were on his property, then he's ultimately responsible.
Even
For
if
what
he,
year?
even if he bought it and the violation was from another owner. All right,
So
so,
the violations were on the title. I have a clear title. There's no
all right, this
action
is
against the
what,
previous
all
owner.
right, this is what I'm going to do, okay?
I'd be happy to plant the trees back.
All right, all right. Sir,
like
please don't
agriculture.
speak while
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
speaking.
I'm sorry.
All right. How long for the arborist report?
Probably about 30 days, maybe, to obtain an arborist to get a report from them.
Okay. Did you want 84 days for both or just for the?
Whatever you feel you want to. We could do the 84.
Okay, all right. All right. I'm going to, don't interrupt me. I am going to waive the fines. I am going to give you 84 days to apply for the after-the-fact permit, or $100 a day thereafter, and 84 days to obtain an arborist report, or $100 a day thereafter. And that's my ruling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 59, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 25070892, case address 3870 Southwest 11th Street, owner Kimberly J. Dinkins. This case was first heard 12/11/25 to comply by 129/25 and 3/26/26. 4 sections not complied at $50 per day, $3,800 accrued, and the fines continue to accrue. This is a request for an extension.
Inspector Rachel Moore presenting case as read. This property was first brought before the Special Magistrate on 12/11/25, and at the Special Magistrate hearing, Special Magistrate Flynn did order 49 days to comply for the violation of 18-1, and for the remaining violations, 105 days or $50 per day per violation thereafter. As the pre-hearing inspection dated 4/13/26, the property remains out of compliance. The property owner is present to speak on behalf of a property.
Please state your name for the record.
Kimberly Dinkins.
Okay, Ms. Dinkins, it looks like you've made a pretty good start. You got a few things left, the driveway, the landscaping, and the exterior building.
Yes,
What's the status of those?
Well, actually, I was working with my officer to try to get into the housing rehab program to get help to fix up these things. I had medical issues, which led to financial issues. So she said that there was a program that would possibly be able to help us, and so we're just trying to get into that to get the things
Okay,
fixed
is
out.
the city?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're supporting an extension?
Absolutely.
How much time?
We can do the 119 days with the mandatory reference.
Okay, 119 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time, and please be diligent about applying for the assistance.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
all right,
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 12, Inspector Pat Gavin, case number CE 26020520, case address 1226 Northwest 23rd Avenue, owner JSU Investments, Inc., posted at property 31726, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Good morning. Pat Gavin, City of Fort Lauderdale, Senior Code Compliance Officer, presenting case and address as read. This property was cited under case CE 25040473 on April 16, 2025, and given time to comply for the following violation. 18-1, there's a violation at this 48 industrial property that is creating a public nuisance. There is graffiti all along the back wall of the building. On April 30th, 25, the violation was complied and the case was closed. On February 18, 2026, the property was again cited for the same violation and complied on March 17, 2026. The violation at this property is now in compliance. However, the city is requesting a finding of fact that this is a recurring violation, and any subsequent violation of this code will be cited as a repeat violation with fines beginning to accrue immediately.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. Courtney Crush on behalf of the property owner. Your Honor, with respect, first and foremost, these are warehouses that are located east of 95 on the railroad tracks. Trespassers come down the tracks and tag. I think you have 4 cases on your agenda today. With respect to the history, in 2025, as Inspector Gavin indicated, there was a notice provided to the property owner, and he complied within the time frame. No finding of fact, nothing came in front of the magistrate. So in response to illegal activity, the property owner complied. It appears the same thing has happened again. Your Honor, our client owns a warehouse 2 down also, and they have installed cameras there. That does not have a violation, and he is going to do the same here. It's at the rear of all of these warehouses, so none of the property see it unless they candidly go trespass on the tracks. With that being said, it would seem to me that this should have been cited under section 9-306, which are the minimum standards for exterior walls. It says basically you'll maintain the exterior of your structure, including not having graffiti. Suggesting that this rises to the level of a public nuisance would require, as Your Honor well knows, the property is not infested or inhabited by rodents, vermin, wild animals, threatens or endangers the public health, safety, or welfare, or adversely affects and impairs the economic welfare of adjacent property. The case notes say it either does or may. I don't believe there's been any testimony that the activity, which when my client's been made aware of it, he's complied within the compliance time frame, has adversely impacted the abutting property, the abutting warehouses. So therefore, I actually do not think there should be a finding of fact that a public nuisance occurs. As you planting landscaping without telling FEC because it's over their property line, we're willing to take proper...
Was the first violation also under 18-1?
It was, but there was no finding of fact there. I was not aware of that notice. But they complied the graffiti, so there was never any finding as to what code section.
Well, there's always a finding of fact in my order
There was no, it didn't come before you.
Oh,
There was a notice given based on what I can tell.
and within the time frame
Correct,
allowed? it
correct.
was
So there was
corrected?
no finding that there was a nuisance previously.
Okay. Anything else?
Your Honor, I would just, for the record, Ronald Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Appreciate counsel's argument. I think a public nuisance, I think everyone would agree, is graffiti. I mean, that's just one of the, I think, a sort of a standard public nuisance. I'm not going to agree with counsel that it requires any heightened finding, nor would it necessarily be subject to a heightened fine as a repeat, as opposed to any other repeat violation. Understanding that, you know, nobody graffitis their own property, we all know that. And obviously it's in a challenging area to prevent this kind of thing, but at the end of the day, they did come into compliance again. The inspector stated that the previous case was also cited under 18-1, and I would suggest that a finding of fact here is in order.
If I may, Your Honor, I would think if a property owner, again, this is illegal activity not caused by the property owner. This is not them creating the conditions on the property. I think that promptly responding and fixing it and complying it, therefore means they are not permitting a nuisance to occur. They're taking proactive steps when a third party has introduced a condition. And again, I don't think that rises to the level of adversely affecting the economic welfare of the abutters, which is the standard that is required. Had they continued to let it languish and there had been some sort of an economic impact, I think the city would need to evaluate that.
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to make the finding of fact that the violation exists, and it is indeed a recurring violation. So that's going to be my finding.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Our next case, page 33, Inspector Rachel Moore, case number CE 25100335, case address 460 Southwest 30th Terrace, owner Gloria J. Johnson, posted at property 31126, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Inspector Rachel Moore presenting case as read. This property was first inspected on 10/10/25 and the following violations were observed. 18-1 is complied. 18-12A is complied. 47-19.2 point C is complied. 47-34.1.8.1 was complied on 325. 9-280 is complied. 9-304 parentheses B. The driveway at this property has multiple potholes. 9-305 parentheses B. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-306. The exterior building walls have not been maintained. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. Via 9-304 parentheses A. There are windows which are not secured in a tight-fitting and waterproof manner. There are windows at this property that have wood covering, missing sashes, or are fully covered with plywood. 9-313 parentheses A. The property is not identified by the address. However, that was complied on yesterday, 4/13. There has been contact with the property owner regarding the cited violations, and she is currently working with the Housing and Community Department to rectify the violations. As a pre-hearing inspection dated 4/13, the property does remain out of compliance. The city is requesting the following. All right, for 9-304 parentheses B, 9-305 parentheses B, and 9-306, 84 days or $50 per day per violation thereafter. I'm sorry? 9-307. There's no 9-307. 304 parentheses B, 9- 305
What
parentheses.
about 307A, the windows, the wood
Oh,
cover?
no, yes, 84 days as
Okay,
well,
all
yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Gloria Johnson.
All right, Ms. Johnson, are you in agreement to bring the rest of the property, looks like you made a start, the rest of the property into compliance within 84 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
84 days. I'm working with someone, and I don't know where 84 days would be enough time, because I'm working with the award for Fort Lauderdale.
Right, I know you're applying for assistance, so
Yes.
is 84 days should be good for that, right?
Well, yeah, we can start there, and we can always get it, you can come back for a request
Yeah.
for an extension.
If you
needed.
run into a problem or you haven't gotten word back from them yet, make sure you contact the inspector before that 84 days is up, so the fines don't begin to accrue, and request an extension, okay?
Do you want to do a mandatory reappearance?
Yes, mandatory reappearance.
All right, so you're going to come back and give me a status?
Special Magistrate, to your left. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I can't.
Yeah, I actually don't think 84 is going to be enough. I'm dealing with another property that's going through trying to get help from the city, and it's a lengthy process. I would just go ahead and give them 147, and then that should give them plenty of time to
147.
get the help they need.
Okay, we'll give you 140, and you'll appear back on September 8th if the property is not in compliance. If she complies it before then, you don't have to come back, okay?
September the 8th?
Pardon? Yeah, yes. You'll get a notice in the mail.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Our next case, page 29, Inspector Shaquan Kendrick, case number CE 25100496, case address 1424 Northeast 57th Place, owner Jennifer E. Anderson, posted at property 32326, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Inspector Kendrick with the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case and address as read. This property was first cited on October 9th, 2025 for the following violations. Violation 18-12A has complied. Violation 18-4C has complied. Violation 47-34.1.8 has complied. Violation 9-304B has complied. Violation 9-305B, the landscaping at this property is not being maintained in a well-kept appearance. There's areas of dead and missing ground cover. Violation 9-306 has now complied. Violation 9-308B has now complied. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 4/8/2026, and the property remains in violation as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days for violation B, or a daily fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Did you say 306 and 308B are complied?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, good. All right. Please state your name for the record.
Francesco Zinconi, here on behalf of the property owner.
Okay. And is your client in agreement to bring the rest of the property into compliance within 28 days?
There's only a discrete issue. It's at this stage, the property is being maintained in a neat and presentable state. I just want to make clear that, in fact, there was efforts made to rectify the issue with respect to the ground cover. It's all been seeded, topsoiled, and has been watered. And so at this point, if Your Honor is going to enter an order on that, I would ask that 56 days to allow those efforts to come to fruition, since they've already made the effort to comply on that violation as well.
Okay. Any objection?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. I wish them luck. It doesn't usually work.
Well, if it gets to that point,
Special Magistrate.
we'll go the sod route.
Yeah.
But they're trying to fix the issue in a way that will last for a little bit longer. So.
Okay.
Special Magistrate.
Yes.
Can we ask for an order to reappear, because sometimes with the seeding it normally doesn't flourish in a matter of time. So can we ask for an order to reappear at that 56-day
so
mark?
you'll reappear on my June 9th docket unless the property's in compliance before. Thank you.
Our next case, page 26, Inspector Shaquan Kendrick, case number CE 2503-0290, case address 6520 Northwest 9th Avenue, owner 6520 Powerline Warehouse LLC, posted at property 32326, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Inspector Kendrick with the City of Fort Lauderdale presenting case and address as read. This property was first cited on 3/14/2025 for the following violations. Violation 18-12A, there's trash, rubbish, and debris on the property and swell area. Violation 47-19.4.C.2 has now complied. Violation 47-20.20.H, the parking facilities are not maintained at this commercial property. The parking facilities are faded and is not being maintained in a well-kept appearance. Violation 47-34.1.8.1, there's illegal land use occurring at this commercial zone property. There's outdoor storage of items, but not included to slabs of granite, quartz, countertops, broken pallets, trash bags, broken towels, multiple pallets with vinyl, black splash, and towels which are visible from the street view. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a well-kept appearance. There's areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swell area. Violation 9-306, the exterior building wall has not been maintained. Structural part, including the facial soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exteriors that have stain and missing peel and paint. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 4/12/2026, and the property remains in violation as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 10 days for violation 18-12A, 56 days for violation 47-20.20 56 days for violation 47-34.1.8.1, 56 days for violation 9-305B, and 56 days for violation 9-306, or a daily fine of $100 per day for each violation thereafter.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Andrea Norman, I represent the landlord.
Okay, and is your client in agreement to bring the property into compliance within the time requested by the city or face a fine?
They are not in agreement, so we evicted them. We will be taking responsibility for this, and we are appreciative of the extension.
Okay, all right, so 10 days for trash, rubbish, and debris, 56 days for everything else.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 35, Inspector Rachel Moore. Case number CE 26010422, case address 671 Southwest 28th Avenue, owner Presbert and Iverna Lewis, posted at property 31126, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Good morning.
Inspector Rachel Moore presenting case as read. This property was first inspected on 1/14/26 and the following violations were observed. 18-4(A) is complied. 18-4(C), there's a derelict vehicle on the property. There's a white Chevy Cargo Express van with no license plate being parked in the driveway. 47-34.1.A.1, there's illegal land use occurring at this property, at this RS8 residential single-family low-medium density zone property. There's an outside storage consisting of, but not limited to, a plastic water container, rugs, mats, and carpet. In 9-305(B) is complied. There has been no contact with the property owner regarding these cited violations. As a pre-hearing inspection dated 4/13/26, the property does remain out of compliance. The city is requesting 15 days or $50 per day per violation thereafter.
How much did you say?
15 days.
15 days.
Yes.
Or, okay, $100 a day?
Or $50 a day.
$50 a day thereafter?
Yes.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Presbert Lewis.
Okay, sir. Are you in agreement to bring the remainder of the property into compliance by getting rid of that white Chevy Cargo and the other outside storage within 15 days or face a fine of $50 a day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate your cooperation.
All right, thank you. I get it.
Our next case, page 14, Inspector Paulette Del Grasso, case number CE 25120794, case address 919 North Birch Road, owner Coconut Bay Resort, Inc., personal service on 3/30/26, posted at 1 East Broward, 3/31/26.
Good morning. Inspector Del Grasso for the City of Fort Lauderdale. The case and address are as read. This matter was first inspected on December 30th by Business Tax Inspector Brian Rukeson and cited for the following violation. Section 15-28, the business Grand Yacht Club at this location is operating without a current year business tax receipt. The bookkeeper for Coconut Bay Resort, where the Grand Yacht Club was operating, is present today, but not authorized to speak on the owner's behalf. Oh, you did? Okay. Thank you. Therefore, the city seeks 28 days or $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Jose Lobo.
Okay, do you agree to bring the property into compliance by obtaining the tax receipt within 28 days?
Respectfully, there is, sorry, there is no active violation secured because there's no business operating anymore at the property. The Grand Yacht Club is no longer operating at the resort, so we wouldn't have violation secure. We have tried to contact them in several occasions.
With the business tax inspector, who said to continue the enforcement proceeding regarding this, because there is a now defunct business that's still using the address of the Coconut Bay Resort, and it appears online. So the business tax department is expecting a business tax receipt if that address is being advertised.
All right, well, you have 28 days. You can either take all the advertising down and get them to agree that you don't need a tax receipt because you're no longer in business, or you could just get the tax receipt.
Just get the, oh, okay. And even if, like I said, we don't really have a control over that website. There's, like, we take all the measurements that we could as far as the property goes, as far as the resort goes, because we no longer let them operate it up there. At some point, there were a tenant there. They were not even a tenant with us anymore. And after that, we started, quote unquote, prosecuting them as far as them taking everything off, our names off of their website and all, but they just wouldn't comply to that.
I mean, at that point, it's going to be a civil matter, but they need to take that down from Sunbiz, because that shows that they're still operating a business. They can receive mail there. That's their official business address. So that's going to be a civil matter between you and the tenant.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
So sorry, 28 days I have to do that?
28 days, yes.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, page 22, Inspector Gail Williams. Case number CE 25120206, case address 1600 Northwest 7th Terrace, owner Yasmin C. Ruby, posted at property 3/18/26, posted at 1 East Broward 3/31/26.
Good morning. Senior Officer Gail Williams for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 25120206, address 1600 Northwest 7th Terrace. This case was first cited December 8, 2025 for the following violations. 18-1, complied. Violation 9-280(H)(1), complied. Violation 9-304(B). There is a commercial vehicle parked on the grass/lawn area, which has been removed. However, the driveway is stained, dirty, and has cracks throughout the driveway, which remains in violation. Violation 9-305(B). The landscape of this property is not being maintained in a well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the property and swell area. Violation 9-313, parentheses 8, has complied. A pre-hearing inspection conducted on April 13, 2026, and the violations remains as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 56 days for violation 9-304, parentheses B, and 9-305, parentheses B, or a daily fine of $50 per day violation per day thereafter.
Okay. Can you explain to her what's left? It looks like she's complied a lot of them, but what's...
son grietas, como que te maquillas sin entonces no sé, lo de las grietas que puedo hacer. Y este pega más tiempo, 56 días, pero pregunto si hay otra solución, porque eso es, no sé si ocupo permiso y todo eso, no tengo idea. Pues, dice su nombre.
Could you have her state her name?
Jasmine Rubí.
Okay, is she in agreement with the 56 days or $50 a day thereafter?
So she says she's going to need some more time for the driveway that has like the cracks. And
Can you speak into the microphone? I'm having trouble hearing.
she says she's going to need more time for 9-304B because she says she's been looking for people to fix her driveway and she hasn't had any luck if she can get more time for that one. And she also says she's going to need to get permits, so she doesn't think 56 days is enough.
Puedes decirle que mi esposo puede tratar de arreglarlo, pero no sé si va a quedar. Puedo ponerle cemento o algo, pero no sé si va a quedar como
Any
ella
objection to
quiere.
84 days?
No.
Okay.
We'll do 84 days for the driveway
So,
and 56 still for the missing ground cover.
Si puede ser eso. Aquí solamente para darte más tiempo.
que me dé más tiempo,
84 días está bien.
Sí.
Just for the driveway, right?
Correct.
Okay.
¿Cuál va la grama?
Para la grama, 56 días, pero para el driveway 84, 84, right?
84.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right. Thank you.
Our next case, page 16. Inspector Guy Seiderman, case number CE 26030446, case address 2200 Northwest 6th Place, owner 2200 Northwest 6th Place LLC, posted at property 32526, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Good morning.
Morning.
Name, case, and address as read. The property was first inspected on 3/18/2026 and given time to correct for the following violations. Violation 18 complied. Violation 18 TAC 12A complied. On 4/3/26, there's overgrowth and trash surrounding this property and its well. This is a repeat violation, CKCE 22070660. Fine shall accrue from the date the violation was first observed until compliance is met. Violation 18-4C complied. Violations 9 TAC 280H complied. The fence is in disrepair. It is missing a top cap on the pole and is on the north side of the pole, is not attached properly to the pole and bracket. This is a reoccurring violation, CKCE 220700660. Violation 9 TAC 305A, complied on 4/3/26. Violation 9 TAC 305B, complied on 4/7/26. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover throughout the property. This is to include but not limited to the front of the property and the swell. This is a repeat violation, CKCE 22070660. Fine shall accrue from the date the violation was first observed until compliance is met. Violations 9 TAC 306 complied. The exterior of the structure is not properly maintained. Portion of the soffit and fascia at the rear of the house is damaged and requires repair. Additionally, there are areas of the fascia with dark stains and marks. This is a repeat CE 22070660. Fine shall accrue from the date the violation was first observed until compliance is met. Violations 9 TAC 308B complied. 1812A complied, being out of compliance for 5 days that it was observed between 3/18/26, 3/23/26, 3/25/26, 4/7/26, and 4/9/26. 9 TAC 305B complied, being out of compliance for 20 days, 3/18 to 4/7/26. 9 TAC 306 complied, being out of compliance for 16 days from 3/18 to 4/3/26. The property was posted on 3/25/26. My pre-hearing inspection was done on 4/7/26, and all violations are complied. The city is requesting full imposition of fines for the repeat violations: 18 TAC 12A, 9 TAC 306. The city is also requesting a finding of fact for 9 TAC 280H1, and the owner is present.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Benjamin Figge.
Okay. All right. For the recurring violation, which is 9-280H1, that's just they'll need a finding of fact for that, but no fines today. It just means if you come back, it's a repeat violation, and then you'll be fined. Okay. As for the repeat violations, 18-12A, you were out of compliance for 5 days that they checked. It's $250. 9-305B is you were out of compliance from 3/18/26 to 4/7/26. This is also a repeat violation, so that's $1,000. And then 9-306, you were out of compliance from 3/18/26 to 4/3/26, and that's an $800 fine.
So we, after we were cited, we fixed this as quickly as we possibly could. In fact, I was up there on property one day, and Mr. Seiderman said, where are you? And I said, I'm at the property. So he's able to come over, and we actually met at the property. It was then he kind of explained to me, because I was wondering how it could be a repeat violation. We've owned this property for a while, and he said, well, it kind of, that stigma hangs on the property. It wasn't recently. It's just that's the nature of it. At one time was cited. So I guess it's been a matter of days. I met the code inspector. I have emails in my hand where, like, every day or so, literally, item by item, I took my pictures. He was good enough to kind of give me credit for the date of those pictures. We did everything we could to fix it. We put up a new fence. We got the sod. I understand it's a couple $1,000. Given how quickly we, diligently in good faith went and fixed everything, could we just waive the fees and go to the administration cost that I'm happy to pay for whatever, administration it caused the city. But we're talking days here. We kind of moved mountains.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor. Hi, good morning. Supervisor Cologne with the City of Fort Lauderdale. I understand what he's saying. However, just for the record, I want to just kind of reiterate, these are repeat violations. So there was a finding of fact before, and it was recurring before. Now we're at a repeat stage. I don't know whether he was at the previous hearing or if, either way he would have received notice. So he had noticed that going forward.
I think what he's saying is he didn't own the property when the other violation took place.
No, he did.
He did.
The violation was in 2022, and they've owned the corporation's owned the property since 2014.
And it's within 5 years. So
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to impose the fines on the repeat violations and enter a finding of fact on the recurring violation.
Would we be able to apply for the amnesty?
Yes, you can.
program, we
I
can.
think, are they're eligible for amnesty? I think so, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Next case, page 5, Inspector Robert Kroc, case number CE 25110017, case address 6700 Northwest 25th Terrace, owner Valkyrie LLC.
Dropped something there.
Posted at property 32626, posted at 1 East Broward 33126.
Looks like a card or something. Just one second. Sir? Sir? I think you dropped something here. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Senior Code Officer Robert Kroc presenting on behalf of the city. Case number and case address as read.
Okay.
This property was first inspected on 11/02/2025 following a neighbor complaint of loud noise. The following violations were observed. Violation 17-71A. There's amplified sound coming from the residential property that is plainly audible 25 feet of the property line after 10 p.m. This violation is considered transient and irreversible in nature, and as such, this case will be presented in special magistrate to impose fines up to $15,000 per occurrence. Violation 17-7710A. There's non-amplified sound coming from this residential property that is plainly audible 25 feet from the property line after 10 p.m. And this is a recurring violation from case CE 2508021. This violation is considered transient and irreversible in nature, and as such, this case will be presented before special magistrate to impose fines in an amount of up to $15,000 per occurrence. The non-amplified noise is recurring violation from case CE 2508081. In that case, they received a $12,000 fine for the case completely. You have the video. It goes on like that for the entire minute of the video.
Okay. Anything else?
No, just that the non-amplified noise is recurring.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Zeb Biwak.
Okay. And you're subject to a fine of up to $15,000.
Guilty as charged. So I moved down here from Alaska. I still have my Alaska house. It's an Airbnb Verbo. In fact, I'm dealing with a horrible situation of somebody coming in there and just wrecking the place, crack pipes and this. So it's like, I just had my newborn son on Saturday night, whatever the 9th was. I'm running on very little sleep. I was trying to supplement my income. In fact, so I was on Gigster platforms renting the backyard. You know, the economy is tough. I'm trying to support the household here. I moved down here to be close to my kids in the neighborhood. In fact, my kids with my previous group, my girlfriend, they're 6 and 8. They live in the same neighborhood. I built a beautiful backyard. In fact, the first episode of The Sopranos, HBO rented my backyard to do a shoot there. So very quiet, calm stuff. It escalated. I would keep coming out to tell these people, like, turn the music down, turn the music down. As much as I tried to control it, I didn't. Poor choice on my part, but I was just trying to survive, honestly. and being in the rental game. So it has nothing to do with like I have my party bus company there. It has nothing to do with that. It was supposed to be like small events, birthday parties, stuff. And again, there was a couple people that just got out.
You have tenants in there now?
No, this is my house. I
Oh,
would
it
just
was
like
a-
rent the backyard
An
for
Air-
like little, not Airbnb. There's platforms like Gigster. He knows about it.
Yeah, that was the original case.
That
I
was the
mentioned.
original
Yeah,
case.
this happened a month after that case, and they both were pending magistrate. So
Yeah,
this is the second
so
time.
I hadn't gotten the full scope of what was going to occur, what happened. You guys have already fined me for $12,000. It's enough to make somebody go homeless. I was doing it to supplement my income. Now all that is gone to it. Basically, you have my assurance that this will not happen again. I've already spoken to my neighbors. I know how.
Why won't it happen again and you're not going to?
I'm not doing that anymore. Period. As much as annoying it was for like the neighbors and other people, it was just as bad for me. I like my stuff perfect. I am very clean, neat, anal about everything. I built the whole backyard. Also, I'm out there picking up after these people that are just, they seem nice and then they're disrespectful and they're like kind of like, just leaving behind garbage and they're not supposed to. Even the nicest ones, Again, the filming, the production companies, that was nice. HBO, very good people, like set up, take down. But then people started slipping through the cracks and I needed the money. And like I said, I made a poor decision, but it's not worth it at the end of the day.
What is the city requesting?
It's up to you, Magistrate. Each violation can be up to $15,000.
All right, if you're not going to be doing it again, I will do $1,500 for both.
Okay.
All right? Yep, because you knew better. You were fined $12,000. You're really getting off easy this time.
Right. So just to be clear, though, I didn't even have that paperwork yet. I had never came to a hearing. So had I known that, I would have immediately ceased. I thought, okay, I got a warning. I thought it was a warning, and I was still, trying to better manage them, and it wasn't working.
Okay.
So again, the couple months ago when I first got the $12,000, that was my indication. Like, okay, so that one was just a month after I got the sticker on the wall, but then it was months later before I came and spoke to the board here.
All right, my ruling stands. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And if you've moved here, I would just suggest you change your address in the property appraiser's website because it still shows Alaska. So this order will still go to Alaska.
Yeah, I did. I called and I spoke to somebody, and I thought that how do I change that? Can you actually enlighten me?
You have to contact the Broward County property appraiser. Yeah,
Got
the city
it.
doesn't
Right.
control
I know
that.
my neighbor's been getting the mail, and okay. Yeah. Sounds good. I'm both places, but more here, so.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, just so you know, you'll continue to get
If
the
you'll
mail.
give your address to the lady in the back, we'll make sure you get a courtesy copy.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Have a good, wonderful rest of your day.
Our next case, page 52, Inspector Shaquan Kendrick, case number CE 24120178, case address 5910 Northeast 18th Avenue, owner Imperial Point Holdings LLC. This case was first heard for 8:25 to comply by 5:13:25. There are 3 suspensions noted on the agenda. One section complied at $100 per day, $6,200 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
Inspector Kendrick with the City of Fort Lauderdale presenting the case and address as read. This case was last heard at Special Magistrate on January 13, 2026. Special Magistrate granted a 56-day extension. This case is now in compliance. The city is requesting the full amount to be imposed.
Please state your name for the record.
Marcos Espinal, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, well, why did the walkway take so long?
The walkway? Okay, so we had a bunch of violations on this case,
Right.
and we couldn't do them all at once. So then the walkway was the most complicated one because it required the removal of 2 very large shade trees that require permitting. So we were granted an extension, and the lapse of non-compliance was due to the fact that we were basically submitting applications. We had to get arborists, we had to get contractors to get this done. So once we finally got everything compiled to submit the application, the extension was for November 19th. We submitted the application on the 14th Now, I knew that we were going to be in non-compliance, so I called Inspector Kendrick to let him know, look, this is going to expire, but we don't have a permit issued yet to begin the work, right? So then...
Did you request an extension?
So at that point, a new hearing was set for January 13th. On the 12th, we got the permit. So one day before I appeared here, we got the permit. A new extension was issued at that point, and we complied. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm looking to have the fines waived because we were on it. We were never really neglected, taking care of the responsibilities along with all the other violations. So I'm looking to have those fines waived.
City's position?
Special Magistrate, Mr. Marco is correct. He was on top of it. The fines actually accrued over the holidays, where it wasn't a magistrate for the December. But yeah, he's have to been on top of it. But I'm not opposed to anything that you suggest.
Okay. What are city costs?
The city cost is $1,013.
Okay. All right. I will reduce the city cost of $1,013. Okay? Thank you.
Where do I go to get this resolved?
You'll get an order in the mail. It'll
Oh.
explain everything.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our next case, page 61, Inspector Karen Proto, case number CE 2506-0543, case address 1215 Northwest 23rd Avenue, owner Errol and Helen McFarlane. This case was first heard 11326 to comply by 41426. There are 3 sections not complied at $50 per day. Fines start 41526, and this is in order to reappear.
Inspector Proto for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case and address is run into the records. At Special Magistrate hearing on 11326, Special Magistrate duly ordered 91 days to comply of $50 a day for each violation. Special Magistrate also ordered a mandatory reappearance for 41426. As per pre-hearing inspection, 9305B is not in compliance. The respondent is here to request an extension that the city is not opposed for with an order to reappear.
What about 9304B, the boat?
The what?
Boat or
Everything's
the gravel
complied
truck?
except
Okay.
9-305B,
Okay.
as of yesterday.
All right. And what do you suggest for an extension for the landscaping?
I'd like to give them 90 days. Do we have 90 days on that?
Okay. I have 84 or 119.
84 days is fine.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Helen and Errol McFarland.
You speak into the microphone.
Helen and Errol McFarland.
Okay. Are you in agreement with the 84-day extension to complete the landscaping? It's the last thing you got to do.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll suspend the fines during that time.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, page 45, Inspector Robert Kroc, case number CE 2502-0818, case address 814 Southeast 14th Street, owner Eve Jean. This case was first heard 10/14/25 to comply by 10/29/25. One section complied at $1,000 per day, $22,000 accrued, and the city is requesting the full amount.
Senior Code Officer Robert Clark presenting on behalf of the city. Case number and case address is read. This property was first inspected on 2/28/2025, filed by Senior Code Officer Simmons following a neighbor complaint of operating as a vacation rental. All the following violations were observed. Violation 15-272A. This property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. The violation they were given 15 days to comply before being brought to special magistrate. This case was first heard on 10/14/2025. They were given 22 days to comply, or apologies, they were given 15 days to comply. 22 days elapsed after that compliance period with a fine being $22,000.
Good morning.
Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, ma'am. Ricardo McCook.
Okay. Why did you go over the extension?
The compliance period. So we removed the property from the website, but what we didn't know at the time was they only leave it removed for a certain period of time, and then it reappeared. But we did, once we found out, we got the letter on the door. We applied for our permit from the state, and we took efforts to apply from the city of Fort Lauderdale. So once we found out, we removed it off the website, and we applied from the state. We just didn't know that it's only removed for a limited amount of time, and then it comes back. And then since then, we reached out to the inspector and the town to try to make everything right.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right, $22,000. Let me. All right, I will reduce the fine to $5,500 from $22,000. Thank you.
Our next case, page 60. Inspector Matthew Flesher, case number CE 25090540, case address 3131 Southwest 18th Street. Owner Juan Guillermo Arango. This case was first heard 2/10/26 to comply by 3/10/26. 3 sections not comply to $50 per day, $5,250 accrued, and the fines continue to accrue. This is a request for an extension.
This is Matthew Flesher for the City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance, presenting case number CE 25090540 for the property located at 3131 Southwest 18th Street. At the Magistrate hearing on February 10, 2026, Magistrate duty ordered 28 days to comply or $50 per day thereafter per violation. 47-21.16a, the violation remains. 9-280.h.1 is the violation remains. 9-306, the violation remains. A pre-hearing inspection was conducted on April 10, 2026, and violations 47-21.16.a, 9-280h1, and 9-306 remained. A notice of hearing was posted at the property on March 25, 2026. The owner is here to request an extension.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. I'm Daniel Arango. I'm the son of the owner. I have POA I brought with me today.
Okay. And how much time do you need, and why do you need it?
I would hopefully go for around 84 days if possible. So this is a code enforcement violation that was given at the same time of a building violation, of which we had a carport enclosure that was done after the fact. We've since pulled permits as of September, and it was issued on March 3rd. And as far as the violations, we have the overgrowth that we've taken care of. The broken window has been replaced, and it as well has been permitted. We're going through that process. And we have the violation that we have to paint the front of the house and fix the garden bed. We were hoping to do that as we handle the permit and doing the enclosure, because we have to do a lot of demolition, so there's going to be debris being removed from the property.
Okay. Why can't the tree stump be removed in less than 84 days?
So the picture, and this was something that if the homeowner has to take care of, we will. You can see the tree started to grow back. They wanted to know if they can keep the tree since it's growing. If not, by all means, we'll be taking care of it within the 84 days.
For that, I'll ask the landscape department. I'll show them that picture and see what they say.
Okay.
All right. So do you have any objection to the 84 days? Okay.
No objection.
All right. 84 days, and I'll suspend the fines during that time.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Next case, page 42. Inspector Wanda Aquavella, case number CE 26020539, case address 1405 Northeast 4th Court. Owner Tahid Sharafi. Personal service on 3/10/26, posted at 1 East Broward, 3/31/26.
Leonard Champagne for the City of Fort Lauderdale for case number CE 26020539, address 1405 Northeast 4th Fourth Court. On 2/23/26, an amended inspection report was posted on the property as well as mailed to the owner listed on Broward County property appraisers for the following violation. 15272A, this property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. This is a recurring violation. See previous case CE 25080133. This case will proceed to the special magistrate hearing to obtain a finding of fact whether or not it comes into compliance prior to the hearing. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on April 13, 2026, where a check of Avenue revealed that this advertisement has been taken down. The city is requesting a finding of fact that the violation did exist.
Okay, so it's complied?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, please state your name for the record.
Hi, Saeed Tasharofi.
Okay, so the city's asking me for a finding of fact because of the recurring nature of the violation, which means you won't get fined today, but if it happens again, you will get fined. You understand?
I do, and I don't want to take your time, but if there is explanations for what happened, if you'd like to hear it. But what happened was my twins came early, and I had hired someone to help me. And they tried to go to 30-day. We're trying to get out of the daily because I cannot close the construction permits that are on the folio. So I'm done the roof, I've done the window. I got like a few more weeks to go before I can get my application with the vacation rental department sorted out. So everything should be resolved within a month. The only reason my application was rejected is because I don't have some construction being done in the back.
But understand, when you're operating without a license and you get cited for it, you can comply it right away by taking down the advertisement.
Yeah, I apologize for the confusion. I mean, we were trying to go to 30 days, but yeah, I totally agree. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you know next time. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a great
Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll take a 10-minute recess.
So